A man in Stanton could not believe his eyes when he first spotted what he thought was an alligator near a pond this weekend. But after pulling out his fishing pole and catching that elusive critter, he realized his eyes had not deceived him after all. Michael Martin joining us live from the newsroom with this unbelievable story. Michigan, an alligator, Michael?
Yeah, Janice, believe it or not, that's what Andy Bills, who works for the city of Stanton, found. Now, he was making some standard rounds in the area of some sewage ponds. A quiet Sunday on the job, watching a turtle inch his way towards the shoreline when all of a sudden, out of the corner of his eye, he saw what looked like an alligator sliding into the water. An incredible story already, but Bills, an experienced hunter and fisherman, decided right there that he was going to be the one to catch the little guy.
Once I saw there was no way I was going to let somebody else catch it. I wanted to be the person that got to catch it. So.
Stanton Department of Public Works staffer Andy Bills was having a pretty standard Sunday as he made his way around some sewage ponds, seeing what he usually does, lazy critters perched along the shoreline.
And I was looking at a big turtle that was walking into the pond, and right after the turtle did, the alligator walked from the weeds slid into the pond.
Something he, as you can probably imagine, does not usually see during his rounds.
It took me a good minute or so to gather my thoughts and try to figure out if I really just saw what I thought I saw. I called my boss and coworkers and told them what was going on, which they weren't really quite believing me all the way.
He went home, but only briefly before the allure of catching a gator in West Michigan became too much to resist.
I went back with my fishing rod, and after a few casts, he finally bit the lure, and I got a chance to fight an alligator on a fishing pole.
It was a bit of a fight.
He kind of came pretty easy at first, and then once he got closer to shore, he wasn't too excited about coming out of the water.
Eventually, they got him onto land.
It got out at one point out of the net, and it kind of charged us a couple times with its mouth open. Whew.
But alas, he was put into a cooler. Believed to be a young American alligator and likely an abandoned pet, a DNR officer brought him to Wilderness Trails Zoo near Birch Run. Non-native reptile now at a facility that can properly care for them, and Andy Bills left with the fishing story of a lifetime.
I'm outdoors all the time doing something, and most of my friends are too, so it was one of those phone calls I love to make every time I call and tell them I'm doing something right now that you've never done. I get to tell them that I have an alligator in the back of my truck, and I'm still in Michigan.
Yeah, it really happened. Now, there are no laws in Michigan that specifically ban you from owning an alligator as a pet, but it is a violation of our state's penal code to abandon an animal of any kind without making provisions for their care. Now, the DNR tells us that most alligators that are spotted in Michigan are former pets that were released once they got too big. The American alligator, which is what that was, can grow to over 12 feet and 1,000 pounds. Not really something you want stalking around your home, nor in the sewage ponds out in Stanton. For now, live in the newsroom, Michael Martin, Fox 17 News.
I can't think of anywhere I'd want to run into an alligator, truth be told. It's
but good thing that one was on the smaller range, though, when you think about it.
And at least you're not running into it in your bathtub.
Now that would be worst case
or
scenario.
outside your front door like in Florida. Okay.
Well, you never know these days.
Mike, thank you.